Welcome back to the Dream Woman Society, where we don't just talk about leveling up, we become her. Okay, so psychologically, men fall in love a whole lot different than women do, right? Women, we tend to fall in love through emotional closeness and consistency, while a man falls in love through emotional distance and contrast, right? So when you're always available to a man, he can clock your presence, right? He knows you're going to be there. He knows you're going to be available when he needs you. He knows you're going to answer his text message immediately when it comes through. He knows you're going to pick up every single phone call when he calls you. So he doesn't feel a need to pursue you, right? But when you are completely engulfed in your life is beautiful. You have so much motion. You have so much going on within yourself. That creates the mystery for a man, right? That makes him want to pursue you and wonder, what is she doing? So leads him to start to reflect on memories that you guys had. Maybe you guys went out to dinner or you went to a musical, right? He will start to, within that space and within that time of you not being available to him, he will start to naturally think about all of the little things that he enjoys about you, right? Maybe he'll start to think about your smile, or he'll start to think about how you make him feel, because that space is needed for a man to reminisce about you, for him to start to gain more attraction to you, because of now he's recognizing you as a person. But that is so much different when you're always in his face, always in his space, wondering what he's doing, questioning him. There is no need for him to think about those things because you are right there. And that is where men and women differ when it comes to falling in love, okay? In this video, I'm breaking down the psychology behind how men fall in love and how they become suddenly attached to one woman over the other, right? And a lot of the times it is that woman who is busy in her own life. She has motion. She has everything going on. Her life is beautiful. She has her hobbies. She's taking care of her kids. She is working her job. She's trying to build a business. This woman is naturally just going to put him second, right? And he is not going to be above the program. So the human brain, it adapts to consistency and access very much different, especially for men and for women, right? So for us women, we adapt to access from that man when he is available for us. He's showing up for us. We can call him when we need him and he's going to be there, right? We know that he got our back, right? He's taken us out on the dates. He may have introduced us to his family. That is how our brain naturally responds to the access in this man. He loves me, or he really likes me a whole lot, right? Another way that we respond and we adapt to constant access is oxytocin. So for us women, we release a hormone called oxytocin, and that is actually released when we have our children. That is how we bond to our children, but we also bond to our partners through intimacy, right? So when we have sex with a guy, or we are just kissing, hugging, and cuddling with him, our bodies are releasing the chemical of oxytocin. And you don't want to get involved in a scenario with a guy where you're starting to now release oxytocin and you are starting to bond to him and he does not have those same feelings for you. For that man, it would be vasopressin. That is his bonding hormone. And if you are not giving that time to develop that relationship and that connection, then the situation is going to be very, very much mismatched, and you're going to find yourself in a predicament where you're chasing after that man, right? So for men, their brain adapts to consistent access in very different ways than us women, right? So when you give a man consistent access to you, and we're talking about relationships where you're not in a committed relationship with this man, right? Or you you don't have like an emotional attachment to each other. These are like the very beginning stages of dating, okay? So with that man, if you're giving him constant access to you, he knows everything you guys are doing. Y'all may have met 3 weeks ago. Y'all have went on one date and you're telling him everything. He texts you, what you doing? Oh, I'm on my way to the store. I just came from my mom's house and I'm going to go pick up my kids when I leave from the store. I'm going to go do this. And then before I go to bed, I'm going to do my nighttime routine and read a book. You're telling him and with that much access to a woman that a man has not built that bond with or that connection with, and it's a fairly new situation, that is going to lead him to run, right? And the reason why he's going to run is because you're not giving him anything to chase. He knows everything about your entire day. You may have sat on the phone with him and told him about your entire life. There is no mystery. Okay, he has nothing to look forward to because you gave him everything on a silver platter, and it was just like, here you go, babe. This is everything. I want you to know everything about me so that there's no secrets and you don't have to wonder because I like you so much. And here, just take it all. Y'all are literally 2 to 3 weeks into dating. And you know, a lot of times this is why men ghost. This is why men slow down with communication because they're like, I'm bored here. There's nothing else for me to do, right? So that is how a man, his brain articulates constant access. For a woman, when a man is constantly, you know, available and he's showing up for us, we are falling for him, okay? Because we love security. For a man, when a woman is constantly available to him, he will run for the door because he wants to hunt and he wants to pursue. And if you're not giving him that, there's nothing left for him in that situation, right? What happens in a man's brain when a woman is, her energy cannot be predicted. This means that woman that I'm speaking of, that dream woman, right? She is doing her own thing. She gets back to him when she can. Right? She is on her way to her Pilates class. He texts her right before she gets on the floor to, you know, start her class. Her class is 90 minutes long. She doesn't have her phone in her hand. She's not even worried about this man texting or calling her, right? So when she's done with her Pilates class, she now has access to her phone. She looks at it and she texts him back. It does not matter that it's been an hour and 30 minutes. That is when she was available because she is living her life. She also does not care that he had to wait an hour and 30 minutes before he can hear from her. It doesn't matter because he has to step into her world and she does not step into his, okay? So what happens in a man's brain when he cannot predict access to a woman, he cannot predict your energy, he starts to become obsessed. And this is the space where a man will begin to fall in love with a woman, right? Because he's sitting there and he's wondering, what is she doing? Where is she at? Did she have Pilates today? Is she going bowling with her friends? It's the weekend. I haven't heard from her. I want to plan something with her. What is she doing? Right? And you pop up an hour and a half later telling him, hey, you know, I just finished my Pilates class. How's your day going? And he's like, oh my God, thank God. I didn't know if she was going to ever text me again. Right? That's how you want to show up when you are dating. And we're not doing this purposely, babe. We are doing this because we are busy in our lives. Our phone is not glued to our hand, waiting for that man to text us. And we get to him when we get to him. He is second or third nature to everything that we have going on. And again, he is not above the program. Okay? So I want to explain the difference between detachment and manipulation. Okay? Now, detachment, it's like I said, you are a woman in your own life. You naturally have things going on and you don't have the phone glued to your hand waiting for that man to text you, right? So you are not attached to the outcome of whatever situation with that particular man. You are okay if he stays. You're okay if he goes. Your life goes on. You continue to go to the gym, get your body right. You continue to learn new things. You continue to add more streams of income to your resume. Baby, you continue to pour into your kids and your family, and spend time with your girls and go on girls trips. Like, your life does not stop, whether this man is in it or he's not. And men can feel that energy, and it is very magnetic, and they become obsessed with that type of woman, right? Manipulation. I want to stress in this video, I am not in no way, shape, or form teaching you ladies this or explaining any of these situations to you ladies for you to manipulate a man. First of all, I want you to, any man that you entertain, allow this to be a man that you actually like, and he's actually showing up and he likes you. Okay. Manipulation. The reason why I want to stress that I'm not making this video in that sense is because manipulation comes from a sense of hurt. It comes from a sense of, being betrayed. Some women like to do very mean, very nasty things to men purposely. They just want to see them chase them, and hurt people, right? So they might want to set them up in a means of, oh, I'm going to make him chase me, or I'm going to make him tell him to meet me down here, and I'm not going to show up. I think that is like one of the worst things that you can do to someone. If someone hurt you in the past, or there's a man that you don't really like, leave that man alone. We are not manipulating men, okay? We are not doing mean and nasty things to men just because of what the last man did to us, or because of what that man has done to us in the present. If this is a man that you feel like you need to manipulate, first of all, Dream Babe, I want you to stop in the moment and check in with yourself, because there may be some work that you need to do, right? We are not going to show up to the dating scene bitter and just wanting to hurt someone because of what the last person did to us, or what that man may have done to us in that time. So manipulation is completely different from detachment. Detachment, again, is just you living your life and not being concerned with how things go with you and this man, whether he's here or he's not. Life goes on. Your life is big, it's beautiful, and you are so happy and full with everything that you have going on. And manipulation is coming from a very mean, very hurt place. And in the Dream Woman Society, we're not showing up like that, okay? And like I always advise in my past videos, if that's how you feel, there is some inner work that you need to do, and you need to take a step back from the dating scene and tap in with you. I always advise, stop dating for 90 days. No phone calls, no text messages, no sex, and tap into yourself. That is one of the things that I have done that has helped me to heal everything that I was hurting from. I feel like always, of course, there are things that have, hurt you that you may never, ever be able to get over or heal from. You just learn to work through those things. And that is a reason why I started therapy as well. Therapy teaches you ways to work through your trauma and, everything you have been through that has hurt you, or, that is stopping you from showing up as the best person that you can ever be, right? So, yes. We're not manipulating, okay? And the type of woman that a man falls for is that woman I have been talking about throughout this entire video. She is on her level up journey, and the level up journey never stops. So you're constantly evolving and learning new things and being a better woman, right? She is that dream woman, right? Because even if she's not where she wants to be, she is still showing up as her every single day. Okay, she is not constantly on that man's phone, right? Because even if you are trying to not text him and not call him, maybe you're following him on social media and you're watching his stories, you are constantly reading through all of his likes and his comments, he can still feel that energy, babe. Like, he can still feel she's right there. Men are just like we're good with energy and intuition. Men are very good with that as well. And they can tell when a woman is just trying to distance herself, opposed to a woman who is naturally living her life, right? So that is definitely that woman who is doing her own thing. She is still sweet. When he texts her, he calls her. Sometimes she may text him good morning, but that is not the first man. That man is not the first person on her mind. She's literally living, right? And she actually is living her life because she wants to see how this man shows up for her. She's not concerned with what he does, where he's at, where he's going. She is so sweet. You know, when they're on the phone, she's laughing, she's joking, you know, she is just complimenting him. She is that very high vibrational woman, and her energy is addictive. He is always trying to find ways to be in contact with her. He's always trying to find ways to hear her voice, because she has a great balance between she's present when she is available and she's not when she has her life full and she has things going on. You know, she doesn't stop her life for this man. If there's a possibility where they may have plans, or he wants to plan something for the weekend, if he doesn't tell her in enough time, she makes her own plans. And she goes with her girls. She goes and does things with her kids. She does things with her family. Hell, she takes herself on a solo date. Okay? But she doesn't stop her life for this man because he wants to plan something or he wants to see her, right? And that is ultimately the type of woman that a man falls in love with. And again, I want to express that, and I'm learning this in dating. It takes time for a man to fall in love, for him to, you know, start to put you in that category of, this may be a woman I can see myself with. It takes time and it takes patience, right? A hormone for a man, as when it comes to bonding, is vasopressin. And that vasopressin, those hormones and receptors, they take time for them to bond with you, right? A man can go out and have sex with 5 different women within one night and not love any of them, right? But when he bonds with you and he builds those vasopressin receptors towards you, he is now beginning to see you as the one. That's when that all, you know, those walls start coming down and he's really starting to show up for you, and you can feel in your heart and in your soul that this is genuine, right? And that is because that man is beginning to build vasopressin for you. And that is just his bonding hormone. We have oxytocin, men have vasopressin. Okay. So I want to leave off this video with a scripture, Proverbs 31:10. Okay. And that is just, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And I just want to tell you, with that scripture, Dream Babe, you are precious. You are valuable. You do not deserve to be breadcrumbs by any man. Okay? You deserve the utmost respect. You deserve to have everything that you want and that you desire from a man. And if a man that you're currently dealing with and you're talking to, he's not giving you that, keep it moving. Keep it moving. I always say there are 8.6 or 8.5 billion people in this world, right? You miss one, there's another bus coming. Okay? Right on down the street at that same bus stop. There are millions and billions of men in this world. So if you're dealing with a man, you don't have to stay there, right? They always say, you're not a tree, you can move. And that is a real thing. And if you find yourself becoming obsessive over this man, you know, attached to him, but you know he's not giving you the same energy, and you just don't understand why you cannot break the attachment from this man, you may have a soul tie with him, right? Soul ties are real. I've had a few in my life that I literally had to pray up off of me, you know, and that's why I say allow that man to show you how he's going to come and show up for you before you start investing your time, your energy, and you can create a soul tie with him, right? So yes, understand and know that you are amazing and you are not asking for too much. Whatever you want and your heart desires in a relationship with a man, with your partner, you deserve it, and it's to be yours. But you have to know that as well. And that's why I love this scripture, because it reminds me when I am dealing with someone and I feel like I'm not being treated the way that I should be, I read this scripture. It reminds me that us as women, We are far above rubies. And in past times, rubies were the most valuable stone, or the most valuable jewel. So when it speaks of you are far above rubies, that is just like you are the most prized possession in this entire world. Okay, so go be that woman who has a full life. If you have to take a step away from the dating scene, take a step away. I vouch for this because I tell you this, you ladies, this from experience. I had to stop dating multiple times, 3 months at a time. Sometimes it was 30 days. Like, these are things that I actually had to do, and those are the things that have gotten me to where the level I am at within my life in general, because it wasn't just about dating or about men, but it was about me finding who I was, and that I'm on the journey to becoming the woman of my dreams. But I couldn't think to do that if I hadn't took a step away from dating, distractions, friends who were not good for me, everything. And so I vouch for that so heavily in most of my videos, because I know the transformation I have come from when it came to taking a step back and figuring out who I was, right? So you ladies know, here at the Dream Woman Society, we don't leave any dream woman behind. Okay, so if you find yourself struggling in dating or in leveling up and becoming the woman of your dreams, I have done all of the hard work for you and have everything mapped out for you in the Dream Woman Blueprint. Okay. I'm going to put the link down in the description, and you can just go there, click the link, and get your copy of the Dream Woman Blueprint today, right? So if you found value in this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Dream Woman Society. I'm going to be giving you ladies more videos like this on dating, finances, relationships, and overall just glow up and becoming the woman of your dreams in general, okay? So I thank you for sticking through this video. I appreciate you, Dream Woman. I love you. Please go out and be the woman of your dreams. Do everything with love today. Put God first, and have an amazing day.